What's up everybody, it's Willio. If you're only interested in the actual workout routine, skip to this timestamp. However, if you're interested in improving your body composition, I recommend watching from start to finish. I assume most of you watching are somewhat familiar with fitness, but I've tried to make this video as accessible as possible for everybody, so let's get into it. The skinny fat physique, as it's referred to, is extremely common for young boys and men. I had it my entire teenage years and I was always super insecure about it. Having it feels like catching an inoperable disease and it looks like shit. It's this body composition where you have a higher than desired body fat percentage, yet you look sort of small and skinny with your clothes on. This can be a very frustrating physique to have because you want to get rid of the excess body fat you have, but after that you're not left with any muscle. But it also feels wrong to bulk because you're not that lean to begin with. It's confusing to know which way to go, and I certainly did not for like many years. This resulted in me not really making any progress because I wanted to lose both fat and build muscle at the same time, which after many years of trying I am convinced doesn't work. I tried a bunch of stuff, yet I sort of lacked a clear process to actually transform myself. I couldn't really find anything that seemed to work for my body type, so that's what I aim to provide with this video. I believe I found the best actual strategy to get rid of the skinny fat disease and become bigger and more muscular, yet with a lower body fat percentage than before. And the strategy comes with two super simple steps, and that's all there is to it. Step 1 is to bulk significantly to build muscle. Step 2 is to do a cut to get rid of the excess body fat. Now, this workout routine is used for step 1, but it's useful in general too. I'm gonna switch workouts when step 2 comes along and do a video on that after I've actually completed step 2. This is the unsexy answer, but I believe this is the best way to go from skinny fat to muscular. So step 1, the big bulk of gaining muscle and weight. In order to do this, you must eat more. Makes sense, right? I recommend aiming for a weight gain of about 1 kilogram per month while eating as healthy as possible. This should be a pretty long process, but it depends on your level. What you eat and how you eat won't be the focus of today's video, but it is super important. Then step 2 is to cut down and lose most of the fat that was gained during step 1. Now this step is shorter than step 1 and you will of course eat less during this period. You can aim for a weight loss of about 2 kilograms per month or more. Now as I mentioned, I'm gonna use a different workout routine for this step. This video focuses on step 1 mainly. If this 2-step method is done correctly, you should be left with most of the muscle from step 1 and without most of the fat gained during step 1. So the solution is to seriously bulk up first and then cut down. Clear step 1 and step 2. No main gaining, no building muscle while losing fat. That's bullshit. You first build the muscle and then you lose the fat, and it's a more important concept than the workout itself if you actually want to transform your body. This workout is simply the tool I've used to build the muscle during step 1, and it has been a very effective tool. I wouldn't say I'm skinny fat, I wouldn't say I'm jacked or anything, but I'm only closing in on the end of step 1, and after summer my goal is to be done with step 2, and then I'm gonna show you how I did that. Hopefully I'm more muscular and with a lower body fat by then, but who knows. I've used this workout routine for the past 6 months and I've gained about 8 or 9 kilos during that time, and it's been very effective to build muscle. It's not my own workout routine, it's a super well researched workout routine backed by science and fancy words and stuff.
Yes, science!
And your life doesn't have to revolve around it to get good results. This workout is short, around 30 minutes, but it's performed 6 times a week. The small time investment required, coupled with its high variety, makes this workout feel fun to complete for me, even after 5 months of 6 times a week. I recommend trying it out, and if it's too difficult, you can adjust it according to your own needs. I provided the link in the description for the full article, which goes into more detail back with like the science and all. But basically, this routine is made for natural bodybuilders, so all credit to this guy. So now I'm gonna go into more detail about the workout routine itself. This will sound complicated, but it makes perfect sense once you get it. So you train 6 days a week with a full body push-pull split. This means you do 3 days of push where you target both upper and lower body pushing muscles, and 3 days of pull where you again target both upper and lower body pulling muscles. Every workout you do 4 or 5 exercises with 3 sets in every exercise. The exercises should aim to cover all the main muscles for push and pull days separately. The sets are always done with 2 moderate intensity warm-up sets, about 7 out of 10 difficulty, and 1 like final boss set where you should be going like all out, just like, you know, shaking and gritting your teeth by the end. Now there are 3 different types of final boss sets, and you can choose any of the 3 types that you best see fit. This is copy pasted from like the article, but number 1 is heavy double rest pause. Basically you do 3 sets with the same weight and just rest 10 to 15 seconds in between every set. Number 2, maximum mTOR activation. Yeah, I don't know what that is, but here the key is how you perform each rep. Yeah, if this was the bench press, you do this for like 5 seconds, then you pause here for 2 2 seconds, and then you lift that shit up like quickly again. And you do that for 6 to 8 reps. And on the last rep, where you can feel all the power sucking away from your soul, you pause at the last stretch position, the stretch position.
$200 billion.
For as long as you can tolerate. The third one is a 6, 8, 10 drop set. So start the set with a weight you can lift for 6 reps, then drop the weight down and immediately do another 8 reps with that new weight. Then you drop the weight down again and perform 10 more reps. Rest as little as possible between the parts of the drop set. Only perform 1 set of this special technique. Now these 3 final boss sets are what makes the workouts fun for me. You exhaust yourself completely with every single one of these 3 final boss sets. It's been effective for me at least. Now let's start with push day. This is everybody's favorite, mine included. For your push day, you'll want to do 1 exercise each for your chest, triceps, shoulders and legs, or maybe 2 for legs. For chest, you can choose from dumbbell bench press, incline bench, any machine exercise, regular bench press, anything really. And you start with 2 warm-up sets of like 8 reps, where the difficulty is around 7 out of 10, and then you move on to your final boss set, where you should really push yourself. Again, this is any of these 3 that we went over. If you're like a beginner, then don't rush and get yourself into the hospital. It's better to gradually move up. Next, you can move on to your triceps exercise, which can be a machine exercise, dips, or any other exercise that isolates the triceps here. For the exercises that only cover a small muscle group, such as the triceps or like the biceps or any other small isolated muscle group, you can aim for a bit more reps than you would the exercises that target large muscle groups, for example chest. Every single workout you can choose a slightly different exercise for each muscle group, and for every exercise you choose a different final boss set, which is what adds in the high variety to this workout. For shoulders, you can do any shoulder exercise you like, whatever you can think of. Again, 2 warm-up sets, 7 out of 10 difficulty, and then the final boss set, just like every other exercise in this workout routine. Finally, pick a pushing leg exercise. That can be like the seated leg curl, lying leg press, squats, and again 2 warm-up sets, 1 final set. And that's push day. If you've done the final boss sets correctly, you should feel your muscles burning, and for the next day you can move on to pull. On your pull day, you'll want to target your back, biceps, and pulling leg muscles. I usually do 1 exercise that isolates the dumbbells, and then I do 2 or 3 hybrid exercises like seated rows, pull-ups, or anything. I actually almost always start with pull-ups, which target your back and biceps. Then you can move on to your bicep exercise. Usually for me it's like barbell or dumbbell curls. Whatever bicep exercise you can think of, you can do it. And as I mentioned, you can aim for a bit more reps since this is an isolated muscle group, so over 10 is my recommendation. Do the sets the same way again. Next, you can choose one of many pulling exercises like seated rows, cable pull downs, shrugs, any variation of a deadlift. There's a lot to choose from here, and yeah, do the sets the same way. Finally, for legs, choose any exercise that has sort of a pulling motion, but it should target the hamstrings. This can be lunges, lying leg curls. Even though the seated leg press is not a pulling exercise, it actually targets your hamstrings quite a lot. That's really it. 6 days a week, alternating between pulling and pushing. Sunday is my rest day. But yeah, some general tips for this workout routine and in the gym in general. Do every rep with as good form as possible. Everybody's just gonna hate you if you do every exercise with shit form. Be polite to people. Try to beat your previous high score every week. This workout is pretty short, but you're gonna do it frequently, so make sure you mix up the exercises to avoid boredom. Yeah, like this video if you found this helpful or valuable in any way, and if you didn't, well, you can dislike the video and report me for racism or something. It's up to you really. But yeah, have a good day, and remember, watch my other funny ass videos and strength before weakness.